are one round closer to seeing our first ever multi-time overall champion. To add to that excitement, our Pro 2 class is separated by just 5 points. Which one of these riders is going to add their name to the champions list? It all happens at round number 6 of the Kenda Full Gas Sprint Enduro Series. With 5 rounds and 60 tests of racing already completed in 2019, only 3 weekends remain on this race to a championship. At the last round, we saw our Pro 2 points leader, FXR Husqvarna's Evan Smith, move up to the Open Pro class, giving up some very valuable points and leaving the door open for American Beta's Mike Witkowski to win the weekend in Pro 2 and bring that class championship battle down to just 5 points. That leaves no doubt that the pressure will be on this weekend as both riders look to cement themselves as a clear-cut frontrunner and take that momentum with them into the final 2 rounds.
I've been riding 250F a long time, and I mean, I know you can always go faster, but I feel like I was just curious if I could go faster on a bigger bike. It really didn't change that much, but at the same time, I had maybe 10 minutes of seat time on the bike before the race, which is probably a bad idea on my part, but we tried it anyway. Didn't go any faster, so I got back on the 250 for day 2, and I think I'll just stay there for the rest of the year.
Winning the last one was definitely a confidence booster. So coming into this weekend, I knew I could do well and just experience at these, and I worked on sprint speed this week. No one really likes to work on it that much because you're pushing the limits and you're really on the edge. So I don't really like to be on the edge that much, but this week I worked on it and tried to ride the edge a little bit more and just get in my uncomfortable state and just try to be comfortable in that, if that makes sense.
Sprint Enduro Series newcomer and a member of the 2019 USA ISDE team, gas mounted Thorne Devlin currently sits 3rd place in the Pro 2 point standings.
I come from National Enduro, so I'm still doing sprint stuff, but it's totally different. You really have to ride on the edge and every corner counts, as it does in National Enduro, but here you really have to focus on your cornering of outside to inside, and you come out and you think, in a short little bit of time, you think, man, I felt good, but in reality, if you mess up one corner, you just messed up 3 after that because you're trying to make up the mistake of correcting where it set you up for the next one. So it's tough. I really enjoy it because it's something totally different, and I think it'll help me a lot for going to ISDE this year.
Another newcomer to Full Gas Sprint Enduro Series racing is the Trail Jesters KTM rider of Jesse Ansley. Much like Thorne, Jesse has also found himself on the Pro 2 overall podium this year and currently sits just 10 points outside of the top 3 in the series standings.
When I come in 5th and I feel like I rode really well, it's so easy for me to say, well, they're on bigger bikes. But in reality, when I ride to my best, I'm right there. I'm, a second off of, these guys are top XC2 guys, and that's my goal next year. And so if I'm running a couple seconds behind them, in reality, that's not bad at all. So riding the 125 is tough, definitely, and it's so easy to have an excuse, per se, but I try every test, like especially if I do bad, I try to critique myself, and I try not, and it's really hard to, but I try not to blame the bike or anything like that, because I know I am at a disadvantage, but I have one of the best 125s out there, and it's super powerful, and I feel really comfortable on it. So if I'm comfortable and I'm riding well, and I've already proven it this year, I've already won a couple tests, so there's no reason for me not to.
The riders are all set to take the track as the anticipation begins to build here at the LL Raceway. Round number 6, day number 1, here we go. Josh Strang and Kailub Russell are going to split test wins on day number 1, each picking up 3 wins of their own, but it's Kailub Russell that's going to come out on top with the day 1 victory. Evan Smith may be nursing a hand injury, but you would never know it. He picks up right where he left off and takes the day 1 win in that Pro 2 class. A minor setback in the woods for Mike Witkowski is going to put him just shy of the podium here in day number 1. Instead, Jesse Ansley takes that 3rd place spot on day 1, and newcomer Ben Nelko takes 2nd. Not a cloud in the sky and another perfect day of weather conditions. Day number 2, we are all set for 6 more tests of racing. Our defending champion Josh Strang picks up where he left off on day 1 and comes out and grabs the first cross test win of day number 2. Thad Duvall steals the final cross test win of the weekend. That's going to put him up into that 3rd place position, finishing on the podium once again here at round number 6. Mike Witkowski rebounds on day number 2. He ends up 2nd place on the day. That's going to be good for 3rd place overall, getting up here on the podium once again. After 12 tests of racing this weekend, Kailub Russell will find a number 1 next to 6 of his test results, taking half of the wins over the weekend, but more importantly, never finishing farther back than 2nd place, proving once again consistency is key as he takes the round 6 victory.
The weekend went pretty well. Like I said, I came in with an injured hand, so I wasn't I don't know. My mind was open. I didn't know what to expect. And coming in, I think I was 2nd fastest through the first test, only like a 2nd off or something, and won the 2nd test and had actually some really good times. Not exactly where I would be if I was healthy, but still on par. You know, I wasn't too far off, so I was able to nurse the hand and hold on for 10 minutes at a time, just long enough to have a good weekend.
Just the beginning, I just struggled with the slick conditions and just not the right setup. So yeah, moving forward, we changed some things and it helped, definitely showed. And then day 2 was just way better, and I won the first test of day 2. So I mean, I wish I would have started day 2 like I started day 1.
Yeah, this weekend was pretty tough. I mean, everybody has a bad weekend every now and then, but I'm not too far from here, about 3.5 hours. So I was pretty excited to be somewhat close to home, and we mountain biked or e-biked at all the sections, did each one about twice, mostly the Enduro twice, and just got off to a bad start. I hit on the road crossing, hit a bad G out, went over the bars, and found the only water hole on the property. But other than that, we spent the weekend just trying to salvage some points today and just stay healthy. That's the name of the game. We got a long year and a lot of plans ahead of us for this year. So salvage some points and stay healthy was the name of the game for us this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend was hit or miss. I had some really good tests, and I also had some bad tests where I crashed or whatever. But yeah, it was another weekend of getting 4th. Honestly, that's kind of where I've been sitting this year. And I felt like I rode really well a couple tests, and it's like I said, like when you crash, your weekend's pretty much over. So I had some get-offs this weekend, and yeah, as long as I can put in some good tests, and I haven't been able to completely put a whole weekend together, but I've put in some good test times before, and especially this weekend. So you know, in a full circle, this weekend was okay. Definitely not pleased with it, but I can't be too bummed. I mean, this is my first year, my rookie year, and KTM would, if they think that, or if they they wanted me to absolutely dominate or win, they would put me on a 250F. And I think, you know, the bigger picture is way better than that. And making me suffer on the 125 is definitely making us way better. So I'm excited for next year to get on a bigger bike and kind of see and hopefully prove my point where if I'm on a bigger bike, I can do a little bit better.